Hi there. I'm Ryan Kalmbach, and I'm the visionary and one of the owners here at the Johnstone Supply Orion Group. And today I'm going to share with you, I guess you could call it an origin story. I'm going to share with you a story that is the origin for several of our philosophies, particularly our sales philosophies and some of the phrases that we use here at the Orion Group. So I think you'll find this very educational, but also very entertaining as well. So this story starts in 2015, and in 2015 we met a gentleman by the name of William Eford. William was our new regional sales director from the Johnstone Supply corporate office, and that regional sales director role was a new role. So we really didn't know what to expect from the role, and we didn't know what to expect from William. But what we did know is that William had quite the credentials, quite the background. He was a hot shot from within the industry, and we were pretty impressed with what we knew about him in some brief phone interactions. And so then one day came to visit us here in Fresno. So my brother Michael and I sat down with William and spent a full day discussing our business, discussing the Johnstone Supply Orion Group and what we had been doing. We reviewed our numbers, we reviewed our strategies, we reviewed everything. We spent 8 hours locked in the conference room here and reviewed everything. And towards the end of the day, it was becoming painfully obvious to Michael and I that our business was stagnant. Our sales hadn't grown for a couple of years. We just weren't growing. And this wasn't necessarily new news, but when you share something on a screen in front of somebody else, it stares back at you, and it's painfully obvious. So at the end of that day, William turned to Michael and I and he said, "Well, boys, are you happy with what you're getting? Because if you are, I'll just pack up my things and head back to Portland. But if you're not happy with what you're getting, I think I can help you out. I think we can make some changes together and get you some different results. So are you happy?" And Michael and I, of course, at that point, we were not happy with what we were getting. And yeah, we were intrigued. How could William help us grow our business? How could he help us grow our sales? We didn't make any changes at that point. We didn't even discuss plans or strategies or ideas. I mean, it had been a long day. So at that point, we proceeded to go out to dinner, and my parents, Dan and Kathy, joined us. And of course, we went to, you would probably guess this if you knew my dad, we went to Cool Hand Luke's, which is my dad's favorite restaurant here in Fresno, and proceeded to have a really great meal, a really nice evening with William, sharing stories about our family, learning more about him, sharing stories about the business. And at the end of the night, as we were leaving the restaurant and walking out as a group together, we were just walking past the bar, and William grabbed my elbow and he said, "Hey, come on, let's get one more before we hit the road." And so just William and I went through the swinging doors, Western style swinging doors, into the bar there at Cool Hand Luke's and sat down at a high top table and proceeded to have a Michelob Ultra, or maybe more than one, and chat some more. And while we were sitting there, William said to me, "You know, Ryan, what I really love is to get out in the field and meet some real life contractors, see their businesses, learn about their businesses. I don't like to just be stuck in an office or stuck in the ivory tower up in Portland. So how about we go visit some contractors tomorrow? And you know what? Don't take me to your best customers. I want to meet some new guys, some people that aren't doing much business with you or any business at all. Let's cold call on some guys. Don't tell them we're coming. We're just gonna show up. No big deal." And I freaked out. I didn't say this to William, but all I could think was, cold call? Who does that? I hate cold calling. Show up without an appointment? That's ridiculous. What is this guy thinking? But at the same time, I thought, well, he's a big shot. He knows what he's doing. I'm gonna go along with it. Let's see how this goes. But I was frankly just freaked out on the drive home. Couldn't sleep all night, and woke up the next morning maybe a little hungover, and on the drive into the office, still trying to think where am I going to take William, where am I going to take this hot shot so that I don't look like a fool? Who am I going to take him to? What contractors? Where do I go so I don't look like an idiot? And just as I was pulling into the parking lot here at the Johnstone Supply location in Fresno, it dawned on me that it was simple. It was easy. The street that the store is on is basically Contractor Row. There's probably 6 or 10 or maybe even a dozen contractors all on this street or in this neighborhood. And I thought, you know what? We'll just go down the street. We'll go from one to the next to the next. It's as easy as that. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Don't even have to really look up anybody's address. You just drive down the street and pull into the next one. You can see them right there. So I met up with William, and we got in the car just after 8 o'clock, and we drove over to ABC Cooling, which for those of you that know is kind of a joke because it's to drive there. You could literally hit it with a 5-iron from our parking lot. So we drove over to ABC. We pulled into their parking lot and we parked. And William looked at me and said, "So Ryan, what's our plan?" And I froze. I just literally froze. I was thinking, our plan? This was William's idea. Now he's asking me what our plan is. I'm just happy that I got us somewhere. I have no idea, no plan. And William looked at me and said, "All right, just get out of the car. Let's start with that. Get out of the car." So I did. We got out of the car, and as we're walking up to the front door, and I'm not making this up, there's literally signage all over the door and the wall that says no soliciting, no drop-ins, no vendors without appointments. And then as we walked in the front door, similar signage right inside the front door, like literally telling us not to be there. So as we stood outside looking at these signs, I kind of stopped and looked at the signs that said no soliciting, don't drop off business cards, must have an appointment. I looked at that, and then I looked at William, and again, I didn't say anything. I was just kind of panicking, like, oh my God, we're cold calling, and they're literally telling us, don't come here, don't cold call. And William looked at me and said, "We're fucking Johnstone, bitch. Let's go. Let's go inside. That doesn't apply to us. We're fucking Johnstone." So we walk inside, and like most contractors' offices, first thing in the morning, there was craziness going on. There was people going everywhere, phones ringing, things going on. I'm trying to figure out some kind of toehold that I can grab onto, something I can do. William's just watching me, and I see somebody walking across the office that I know. It's Dave, their service manager, and I know Dave. So I shout out for Dave. I'm like, "Hey, Dave, Ryan with Johnstone." And Dave walks over, and I just blurt out, "Dave, this is William Eford from the Johnstone Supply corporate office. He really wanted to meet some contractors, so here we are." And Dave, I think, kind of got stuck because he probably couldn't understand a word that I said because I blurted it out so fast. But luckily, William swooped in, jumped in, and rescued me a little bit at that point. And William said, "Hi, Dave. My name is William Eford, and you know what? I've looked around a little bit. I've never been in here before. And Dave, I'm from the Johnstone corporate office in Portland and kind of live in an ivory tower, and I really love to get out in the field. I really love meeting contractors and getting to know them and getting to hear the story about their business, belly to belly. So that's why we're here today. Would it be ridiculous if we sat down in your office and chatted?" And Dave kind of froze, and his brain was scrambled a little bit about what was going on, and he said, "Yeah, sure, follow me." And so we proceeded to follow Dave into his office, and we sat down, and we were chatting with Dave, and about 20 minutes into the conversation, as we were learning about the ABC business, 20 minutes in, William looked at Dave, and William started to stand up and said, "Dave, would you mind giving me the nickel tour? I really like to see your operation. I like to see how contractors organize their shops and what they've got going on out in the shop." And again, Dave, kind of surprised look on his face, said, "Sure, why not? Love to show you what we're doing." And so Dave proceeded to give us the nickel tour, to give us the tour of their operation, explain to us what was going on. And at about an hour in, again, this was a cold call, and we'd been there for an hour. About an hour in, William looks at his watch and goes, "Oh, wow, Dave, you know what? This has been a really great conversation, but we've got to go. We got to get out of here. We've got somewhere else we got to be. But it sounds like you and Ryan have a lot more to talk about. So why don't you two get your phones out and take a look at your calendars and put something on the calendar so you can circle back and have a conversation and continue this conversation. And so Dave, at William's direction, pulled out our phones and put a date on the calendar. So William and I left ABC. We got in the car. I breathed a big sigh of relief. And William asked me what I had learned, and we had a conversation, a little debrief. I shared what I learned about ABC, and what William and shared that I was pretty excited. It was a really good opportunity, a good sized company, a lot of opportunities I could see there. And William said, "Yeah, I believe in the Woody Allen philosophy of sales." And Woody Allen said this quote, and Woody Allen said, "Showing up is 80% of success. Sometimes it's easier to hide home in bed. I've done both." So 80% of success is just showing up. And that's literally what we did with ABC. 80% of success is just showing up. That was kind of the nugget that William shared with me right there after we got out of ABC. And so for the rest of the morning, we proceeded to drive down Clinton, visit other customers, drop in. And when we got done with that, we came back to the store and we did another debrief. And William said, "Well, what did you learn?" And I was excited. I go, "Wow, there was a ton of opportunity. There was this opportunity here, that opportunity there. I could see that we could do this, we could do that with these guys. There's all these opportunities. They're just right there." And William said, "Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of opportunities. There was a lot of opportunities today." And he said, "Well, let's before we talk about those opportunities, let me give you this deck of cards right here." And he handed me a deck of cards. And yeah, I've actually literally got a deck of cards today. And William said, "Ryan, go through the deck as quickly as you can and pull out all the aces." And so I did, and I'm doing it right now. In fact, I suggest you do the same thing. Go hit pause. Grab a deck of cards. No, really. Hit the pause button. Go grab a deck of cards. Go through it as fast as you can and pull out all the aces. So there's an ace. It's another ace. Another ace. And the fourth ace. Now, some of you never hit pause and never did that exercise. So I'll give you another chance. Hit the pause button. Go find a deck of cards. Shuffle it. And pull out all the aces. Go! All right? And when you come back, you'll have 4 aces. So that's fun. That was a nice exercise. You're probably laughing right now. What was the point of that exercise? Well, think to yourself, and this is what William did with me. How did I find the aces? What did you do to find the aces? And people have different methods. Some people spread them all out so they can see everything at once. Some people flip through it as fast as they can. But basically, you have some kind of method, and you go as quickly as you can. And if it's not an ace, what do? You move past it. You don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at it. In fact, you probably don't even recognize it. You don't even recognize what is it, a 2 of clubs, 9 of spades, just whatever. But what William explained is, yeah, that's what you did to find the aces. But what salespeople do, the aces are the best customers. But what salespeople do is they'll go to a customer, just one, and they'll go, that customer's a 7 of clubs. But maybe if I rub it, maybe if I shine it, maybe if I look at it a little differently, 7 of clubs isn't too bad. There might be some opportunity there, but maybe I could turn it into a 10 or maybe even a jack. That would be pretty good. There's opportunity. That's 7 of clubs. That's something. That's an opportunity. And the moral of the story is there is opportunity everywhere. There is no shortage of opportunity. Just need to go out and find it. But if you stop at the first customer, that looks like your best opportunity. You've got to see all of the opportunities in a market. You've got to see all of the opportunities so that you can pick the best one, so you can pick the aces, right? Because you've got to focus your time. So what am I talking about here? You've got to focus your time on the aces. And the aces represent the best customers. Why do you have to focus your time? Well, all of us in life, and specifically territory managers and salespeople, and myself as the owner of Johnstone Supply, we have a limited capacity. We have a limited time. And on the theme of focus, there's actually a book called Focus by Al Rice. And in that book, Al Rice describes focus this way. The sun puts out billions of gigawatts, megawatts, whatever it is, of energy every day. And the worst thing that'll happen if you go outside on a sunny day is you're going to get a sunburn, because that energy from the sun is spread out all over the solar system. On the flip side, if you take a laser, with a laser you can cut through almost anything. Cut through steel, cut through stone, because a laser is focused energy, and it's not billions of megawatts, gigawatts like the sun. It's much, much less energy. So it's the same with us. We don't have billions of megawatts of energy. We have limited energy, and we have limited time. And in so much as we can focus that time like a laser, we can do anything. It's all about focusing that time on the aces. So first step is you got to find the aces, and the only way you can find the aces is to go through the entire deck, through the entire market, and do a survey, right? Do a sweep is what we would call it. But yeah, you go through the market, evaluate all of the opportunities, and then you find the best opportunities, which are the aces. We'll circle back to a little more around what the aces are later. But yeah, once you've found the aces, then you focus your time and energy on them. And that's what William shared with me. I said, well, okay, he asked me, who am I going to focus my time on? And I said, well, it's obvious, ABC for sure. That's the best opportunity of the bunch. And I said, but yeah, now what do I do? And William said, it's as simple as this: violently focus your time and energy on ABC. You've got limited time as the owner of Johnstone Supply. Focus your energy on them. Focus your energy like a laser. And 6 months later, we closed ABC, signed a business agreement with them around some productivity solutions related to their install supplies to not only make them more efficient, but also to earn a large chunk of their business. And over the years, we've grown with them as they've grown their business, and now they're one of our largest customers, in the top 10 of our customers. So that's the story. That's kind of the nice punchline on it. Is we turned that cold call into new business for us and a very successful relationship with ABC. So now I'm going to break down and very clearly identify some of the lessons learned those days with William and in that story. Right. So the first lesson is this idea of WFJB. And when you heard me say that, when you heard me say we're fucking Johnstone, bitch, you might have been like, holy wow, that's really bold. That's some strong language. And yeah, that's aggressive. That's bold. And that's what WFJB is about. WFJB is a paradigm, right? A paradigm is a mindset. It's a way of thinking, right? And it's the mindset that we shouldn't be afraid to go talk to a customer. We shouldn't be afraid to go cold call on a customer. And the reason why we shouldn't be afraid is, as Johnstone Supply, we have a lot to offer. We have a tremendous amount to offer in our solutions and in our services and in our value proposition. And if we don't talk to that customer, they're going to miss out on that. And that's not right, right? We do tons of things that help our customers to make more money, to save time, and to have more control over their business. MTC, right? So if we don't show up, they won't know how we can help them to make more money, how we can help them to save time, and how we can help them to have more control over their business. They won't know all of the cool things that we can do, all the ways we can help them to achieve their goals, all the ways that we can help them to grow their business, right? That's in our core focus, is to become a great company that partners with its customers and its employees to help them to grow their business. Until we show up and have those conversations, customers don't know what Johnstone can do for them. So that's the essence of WFJB. It's a mindset that we have a ton to offer, and it's our responsibility to go out and talk to people about what we can do to help them to grow, to achieve their goals, and to help them to make more money, save time, and have more control over their business. So that's lesson number 1 is WFJB. Lesson number 2 from William was that 80% of success is just showing up, right? That was the quote from Woody Allen. 80% of success in life is literally just showing up. It's not about skill. It's not about refinement. 80% of it is just showing up. And, you know, it might be the hard way to do it, but I believe that if you just show up enough times, you're going to learn and you're going to get better just by doing. So 80% of success in life is just showing up. And that's this idea that you might have caught on to, and sometimes we say this here at the Orion Group, is just get out of the car, right? It's all about just getting out of the car, getting off your ass, getting out of the office, getting out of the car, picking up the phone, talking to a customer, asking a question. Just get out of the car and show up. So that's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, find the aces, right? Find the aces. And aces, it's as simple as this. Aces are the best opportunities right now in the market, right? So the secret to success in sales, I think it was Claude Whitaker that said this, is the secret to success in sales is to find the people as quickly as possible who want to do business with you right now. Right? Not everybody is ready to do business with us right now, but it's our job to go out and find the people that want to buy what we have and want to buy it today, want to buy it now. And that's this idea of finding the aces. So a couple of key points on finding the aces. The only way to find the aces is to see all of the opportunities in a market. That's what we do when we do a sweep. That's the methodology behind the sweep, is to go out and touch all of the opportunities and to evaluate all of the opportunities in a market. That's the only way to find the aces. And there's basically 3 criteria that make an ace. 3 criteria. The first is, are they a fit to our target market, or our ideal customer? Right? So for us, we have 2 target markets, right? We have a residential and commercial target market. And maybe down the road we have other target markets if you're watching this video. So I'll just talk about the residential target market. So for us, that's small, medium, and large add-on and replacement contractors, right? So not the super big guys and not the tiny guys, but small, medium, and large HVAC contractors. And the guys that are doing add-on replacement and service work, as opposed to new construction and things like that. That's our sweet spot. And the geographic component of that is those contractors who are within 50 miles of our store locations, right? So that allows us to service those contractors effectively. And then the last component of our target market, of our ideal market, is the psychographic component. And this is contractors that want to grow their business. It's contractors that invest in their business. It's contractors that are service-minded. They're trying to provide a high level of service to their customers. It's contractors that invest in their technicians and in their employees. It's contractors that understand value in a partnership versus just price only, or treating their vendors like vendors. Somebody that's looking for a partner that recognizes and understands that value add. These are the things that make up the best customers. If you look at our best customers, and I don't mean just in terms of sales, but I mean in terms of the relationship that we have, the ties that we have, the interconnections that we have, you'll see that there's these similarities between those customers, that they're business-minded, they're growth-oriented, they're service-minded, and they really just fit with who we are as a company. So to find the aces, there's 3 criteria. That's the first one. That was a mouthful. So find those that fit our target market. We identify those as green customers, right? We classify customers as red, yellow, or green versus their fit to our target market. If they're a good fit to our target market that I just described, they're green. So first criteria to be an ace is to fit the target market. Second criteria is size of the customer, because the size represents the amount of wallet share there is. So, all things being equal, you're going to want to go after somebody with, 10 or 20 employees who's a target market fit versus somebody with 2 employees, because there's more opportunity there. And again, it's about your time. So we've got target market fit, size of the contractor, and the third criteria is readiness to change, right? So we want to find people who are ready to buy what we have right now. So not everybody fits that category. And the way we identify readiness to change is typically a critical selling event, right? They're upset at another supplier. There's a disruption in the industry. It's hard to get product because of inventory disruptions. Or it could be something internal, new owner, new general manager, any kind of new change, anything that's already changed within the business. When a business has already changed once, they're more likely to change again. If they've been doing the same thing the same way for 20 years, could be a real challenge to sway them over. So those are the 3 criteria that make up being an ACE. Target market fit, size of the contractor, and readiness and willingness to change. So that's the third lesson, find the ACEs. 4th lesson, focus. Focus your time and energy. You have limited time and energy. Where are you going to focus it? Visualize that laser. Where are you going to focus it to get the maximum return on your time and energy? Focus it on the ACEs. Focus it violently on the ACEs. Learn what to say no to. Focus your time and energy. And the 5th and last lesson is not really highlighted in the story, but William pounded this into us. And this is really, to me, this is our sales strategy throughout the ages. We can get fancy with sales strategies, but at the end of the day, it comes down to this. It comes down to asking more people for more business all of the time, because WFJB. So yeah, have a great day. I'm glad everybody watching this is on the JSOG team. And just remember, WFJB, baby. Have a good one.